We begin CBS 2 News at 11 with breaking news. A car has slammed into a power pole in North Hollywood, and the power lines have come down.
Stu Mandel is live right now in Sky 2 with more. Stu?
That's right, happening out here in Sherman Way, very close to the intersection of Lankershim. You see the vehicle right there on its side. Department of Water and Power, they're here right now. Power lines may be compromised, but there's no power outage in the area, but that may change when the Department of Water and Power has to fix that pole. A portion of Sherman Way, only about a block or so, will be closed while the repairs are being made. Live in Sky 2 over the North Hollywood area, I'm Stu Mandel. Back to you two in the studio.
All right, Stu, thank you very much. And more breaking news right now. A crashing end to a police chase in Pacoima. The car rolled onto its side, trapping two suspects inside.
CBS 2's Crystal Cruz is live in Pacoima right now, where she spoke with a mother and son who were hit during that chase. Crystal?
Hi, Jeff and Susie. Yeah, tonight they're just shaken up behind me. You can see this car. It slammed right here into that fence and took it out.
Terrible because the impact is so big, so strong, and I take it to the steering wheel.
Maria Macias and her son Isaac are still shaking after a woman suspected of driving reckless and running from the LAPD in Pacoima rolled a possibly stolen car and sideswiped them.
I just felt a strong impact and like my phone flew to the back and stuff, and I was just in shock, and then like I heard the airbag, and then I got scared, like I panicked. I thought like the car was gonna blow up or something.
Isaac rushed his mom out of the car. The seatbelt left a burn mark on Maria's neck.
I opened the door fast, like in seconds. I was like, come on, Mom, like we gotta get out of here because it could blow up or something. And then we got out.
Another car was also hit by the woman on the run, and passengers told us they were going to the hospital to get checked out. Likely the same hospital. The LAPD says the woman they were pursuing was taken to with a broken arm along with a guy in the passenger seat who police suspect could be a known gang member. Maria doesn't agree with police pursuits.
I don't think the police need to come in fast for any people because, maybe right now I be dying and what happened.
And the woman driver was booked for felony evading officers, and police say she was possibly under the influence of some sort of substance. I'm Crystal Cruz, live in Pacoima tonight. Back to you in the studio.
What's your bag number? Give us your bag number.
This video taken outside of a protest in Hollywood is drawing anger on social media tonight. It appears to show a man shouting white power and throwing hand signs at a group of protesters. The group was demonstrated, we're told, over the LAPD shooting of a black man at a Hollywood gym last year. The man in the video is wearing an LAPD t-shirt you see there, but the department tells us he does not work for them, and he ran away from officers when he was approached.
A wild weather day across Southern California today and tonight. The effects are still being felt as power outages keep popping up across town.
Yeah, the rain has stopped for now, but are we just getting started?
Yeah, today it was all about thunder, lightning, rescues, and even a scare at LAX. Tonight, darkness to end a wild and stormy day here in the Southland. A traffic officer had to direct traffic in Los Feliz when the lights went out there. The power came back on just before 10 this evening.
And there you have it. Thunder and lightning rattled much of our area today. This is Ventura. Lightning along the coastline forcing several beaches to be closed.
Whoa, look at that. That's hail in West Hollywood as thunderstorms move through.
And take a look at this picture tweeted of lightning striking over City Hall in downtown.
Wow, and a swift water rescue this afternoon in Griffith Park after a man got stuck in the LA River. Using a tethered inflatable rescue boat, the rescue team pulled the man to safety along with his bike. Firefighters say he was cold and wet, but was not hurt. And we do have live team coverage with CBS 2 Nicole Comstock in the Inland Empire with the story you'll see only on 2.
But tonight, let's begin with Garth Kemp with the latest on the rain. Garth?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I want to show you the newest thing going up online here. Flash flood watches now for the entire area except for the San Gabriel Valley. These are going to all go into effect beginning tomorrow night through Saturday. You can see the times there. The brown or goldish, the darker color there you're seeing as well. These are high wind watches. We could see 70, 75, 80 mile an hour winds. Some of the highest peaks working their way up through Apple Valley, Apple Lucerne Valley, now over to the Antelope Valley's added into it, up towards Bakersfield as well. You can see it up to the north and up through Santa Barbara underneath this green flash flood watch there. That contains high wind watches. This next system's got a lot of oomph to it, and I do mean a lot. We will show you coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you guys.
Okay, Garth, thank you so much. Well, once again, people in the holy fire burn areas are bracing for another round of storms. And one evacuated family got an extra dose of anxiety when thieves got away with their pickup truck and camper. Tonight, CBS 2's Nicole Comstock is live in Corona with the story you'll see only on 2. Nicole?
That's right, Susie. And this family parked their truck and their travel trailer here in the shopping center parking lot because it's pretty well lit here. And they thought it would be safer here than it would be in the Holy Fire burn scar. They did not expect for someone to take advantage of them during this vulnerable time. Safeguarding their homes against the storm, neighbors in Lake Elsinore sandbagged and packed their belongings, doing what the sheriff's department told them to do amid mandatory evacuations.
He parked at the end here.
Melinda Smith thought her truck and travel trailer would be safer here at the CVS parking lot than it would be near the Holy Fire burn scar.
I mean, you're under the lights completely and totally.
This is Melinda's truck and trailer heading back out of the parking lot. She says it was stolen less than an hour after she left it here, and she believes this white Dodge truck might have something to do with it. Here that truck is pulling into the parking lot and looping around the back way. Video shows that 40 minutes later, Melinda's truck drives out and that white truck is right behind it.
I was dumbfounded. I was speechless. Of course, I screamed.
Melinda says locals know this parking lot is an unofficial evacuation point for neighbors who live near the Glen Eden neighborhood.
Have a heart. Come on. You know, you're dealing with people who are evacuating.
She says she's upset about losing the '98 Chevy Silverado and the Rockwood travel trailer she just bought. But she's heard about losing the things inside that she can't replace.
Fake jewelry that was my husband's grandmother.
To make matters worse, her 15-year-old dog passed away the day before. She's hoping whoever stole the truck will have a change of heart, since her heart has been through so much. And if you have any information about where that truck and travel trailer might be now, contact the Riverside County Sheriff's Office. For now, reporting live in Corona, Nicole Comstock, CBS 2 News.
All right, Nicole, thank you. PCH in Malibu is back open tonight after a stretch between Broad Beach Road and Las Posas Road was closed for hours. This after mud and debris from the Woolsey fire charred hillsides flowed onto the road. Thunder and lightning also forced the closure of Zuma Beach today.
Passengers are shaken up on a JetBlue flight after that plane was hit by lightning. It happened soon after takeoff from LAX this morning. Flight 324 forced to turn around and make that emergency landing 30 minutes later. Here now the conversation between the pilot and air traffic control after that lightning strike.
That looks like the best from our weather radar. The last 5, 6 guys have done it. Things have worked out.
All right. Hopefully lightning doesn't strike twice, right?
Yeah, let's hope.
Emergency vehicles rushed to the tarmac just in case. Everything was fine and no one was injured.
We are just days away now from the Rams and the Patriots squaring off in Super Bowl 53.
That's right. For the team's final preparations are now underway, and for the fans, excitement is building. Let's take a live look at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, where the big game is going to be held this Sunday. We do have team coverage tonight, including CBS 2 sports director Jim Hill, who is in Atlanta right now where all the action is.
But we begin tonight with Rachel Kim, who's live at LAX, where she caught up with some of the Rams' biggest fans. Rachel?
Yeah, Susie and Jeff, over the past 2 weeks, I've had the chance to meet some really die-hard Rams fans. Well, tonight, you're going to meet two buddies who are on a plane right now heading to Atlanta, and you're going to meet the man who started the Melonheads. On most days, 54-year-old Lance Goldberg is a painting contractor by trade. But when it's game day for the Rams, he sheds his work polo and prepares a helmet of his own.
We're in the house, the Rams, Melonheads, RWO!
Now, do you recognize him? Yes, Lance is the original Melonhead.
I am known as the big seed of the Melonheads.
At age 10, Lance was in Miami and adopted the Rams as his team after watching them in the playoffs. He later moved to LA, and in 1982, he started wearing a watermelon on his head to the games. Why? Well, he says he's partial to produce, and other fruits were just too small for his noggin.
That was the whole idea, was to get the crowd pumped up, so that if the crowd was loud, we'd create some energy and ultimately help the team to win the game.
It wasn't long before the big seed was joined by junior seed, his now 6-year-old daughter, Sophia.
It gets heavy sometimes.
Do you take it off?
No.
We got one more game. Let's get it. Let's do this.
While the Melonheads will be cheering on the Rams from LA on Sunday, Danny Enriquez and his buddy Julio Mancia will be at the game.
Just having the time of my life right now. This is it. And I just want to say thank you to the Rams organization.
Danny recently won tickets to the Super Bowl at the send-off rally at the new stadium in Inglewood. Julio is a season ticket holder, and he's been taking Danny to all the Rams games. Now Danny is returning the favor.
Whose house? Rams house.
Now, Julio says he had to sell his truck to pay for this trip, but he says it's all worth it. As for the Melonheads, well, they say those watermelons can weigh up to 10 pounds on their heads, but they too say it's all worth it. Some die-hard fans, unbelievable. Susie and Jeff, back to you in the studio.
It is unbelievable, yet believable, right?
They got some strong neck muscles,
yeah,
don't they?
Yeah, that's true. They've got to like hold that to keep that 10 pounds
Very original.
Intact. Yeah.
Love the Melonheads.
Me too. Well, as for the Rams and Patriots, all their attention is now focused on the game.
That's right. Sports director Jim Hill is in Atlanta right now. The latest on the Rams and how they are preparing.
Susie and Jeff, thank you very much. This was the last time we in the media had an opportunity to question the Rams, and they are ready for Super Bowl 53 on Sunday against the New England Patriots.
Well, yesterday's practice was great. I thought the guys handled it really well. It was more of an above-the-neck emphasis. We did a couple things individually driven, and then really these next 2 days kind of really finalize, tighten the screws like we've talked about, Jim, and have these players feeling as confident as possible going into Sunday, and can't wait for kickoff.
I think as the week finally starts to kind of get down to getting closer to the game, it seemed like you waited forever. You're starting to get more in that game mentality and getting ready to prepare for that. All the energy that'll be around that, and I think it's a good thing.
Have you and your teammates started to get just a little edgy, a little nervous?
Not yet. It's just, what is it, Thursday, Jim, so a little bit closer to the game, Saturday morning, game tomorrow, that's when you'll start getting them nerves a little bit like, all right, here we go. Sunday morning, definitely, so it's not it's a little bit early right now for that.
Are you starting to get just a little edgy, a little nervous?
Actually, not at all. I'm still calm because there's still time to prepare. I think that Saturday night is when the edge is going to start coming. Hopefully, I can sleep because I'm too excited anyway. But Sunday, when Sunday rolls around, my heart is going to be beating probably 255.
All right, Susie and Jeff, sit back and relax because Super Bowl 53 is coming in less than 72 hours right here on CBS 2 starting at 3:30 on Sunday afternoon. Reporting from Super Bowl 53, I'm Jim Hill. Back to you now.
All right, Jim, thank you so much. We certainly are looking forward to that. Pat Harvey, Jeff Michael on their way to Atlanta, and we'll be joining Kevin, Jim Hill, Suzanne Marquez, and the rest of the CBS 2 team in Atlanta come tomorrow.
And of course, we are counting down to the Super Bowl in just a few days. The only place you can watch the game live is right here on CBS 2.
Let's get to some other news at this hour. The Long Beach Police Department has been rocked by a privacy scandal. A police clerk is accused of secretly videotaping officers changing clothing and using the men's restroom. Some of those seen nearly 115 recordings reportedly include the department's top brass. Police say 28-year-old Sergio Nieto used his own cell phone to record 69 different people. He's now facing invasion of privacy charges.
Tonight, more trouble for a Newport Beach doctor accused of harassing cheerleaders. Only on two, a girl who says she was a victim is speaking out for the first time. Dr. David Haller was accused of sending sexually explicit messages to teenagers last year. And now prosecutors say the 51-year-old orthopedic surgeon followed a cheerleader to a cheer competition in Florida just 2 weeks ago.
And it said, "I saw you bend down at the game and it turned me on."
He has not stopped his behaviors whatsoever. He keeps on stalking cheerleaders.
Well, the mother of one of the girls says the principal at Newport Harbor High School has now called an emergency meeting for the cheer squad and their parents.
You're not going to believe this. Tonight, a David Goldstein investigation on $1 million taxpayer-funded bus.
Well, that bus never made it onto the streets, and now it's home to a furry creature. Tonight, David joins us with the details of his investigation. David?
Believe it or not, a possum.
Wow.
Possum in Southern California. Well, taxpayers shelled out almost $1.4 million for this energy-efficient bus, but all that money that went into it couldn't make it run properly. It's been sitting for years and now home to an angry animal.
Whoa, look at those teeth.
This is what we found in this $1 million hybrid bus, paid for by taxpayers, but we discovered sitting idle for years. A possum living in the engine. And this one wasn't playing.
It's got a nice little home and $1 million plus bus.
This former Burbank transit employee, who we're not identifying, first noticed the animal when he opened up the engine compartment. What did you think when you opened it up and saw that possum?
It scared me. I mean, when it snarled at me, I just jumped back. That's when I took a picture of it because I said, nobody's going to believe me.
The bus was funded through a 2007 state grant requested by the city of Burbank. It called for a hybrid hydrogen fuel cell bus for zero emissions, one of the first of its kind, at a cost to taxpayers of more than $1.3 million, with the total project costing almost $2 million. It was touted by the U.S. Department of Energy. They said the bus can be fully charged by plugging it into a 220-volt outlet, and that Burbank Bus planned to operate the fuel cell vehicle on all of its routes, starting in 2010. But our source says it hasn't moved from this spot for years.
It's more like a phantom bus. Nobody knows nothing about it.
Inside the bus, you can tell it hasn't been used for quite some time. In fact, now being used for storage. This shopping cart in here, along this side, these metal panels, and in the back, just some boxes. You can tell this hasn't been on the road for a while. So long that this possum has made it a state-funded home. There's a possum who has made her home in the engine compartment.
Yeah, it's been sitting there for quite a while.
David Krisky with the city of Burbank admits the bus hasn't moved for years, and even when it did, it didn't go very far. Was this bus ever put into service?
No, it was not.
Okay. And why?
We could not get the bus to operate in a reliable way that would allow us to rely on it to be able to provide trips for paying customers.
So after more than $1 million in state funding, this green energy bus was a bust. Was this a waste of taxpayer money?
I think from the city standpoint and its contribution, I think it was a reasonable use of money to try and move these efforts forward. The city has.
It didn't work.
It did not work.
Is this a waste in your mind?
I think if the bus isn't running, it's a waste of money.
Susan Shelley with the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association says a private company wouldn't just leave a $1 million bus to be a home for a possum. But when it comes to taxpayer money,
the government doesn't care because they coerce the money out of taxpayers. It's not their money. They're just happy to write the check and then they're done. And they can say, look, we funded this. But it's useless. It's a waste.
Now, the California Air Resources Board claims the money was well spent. They say knowing that technology didn't work helped them develop other fuel-efficient methods. And the city of Burbank says the animal control officers have relocated that possum to a safe location.
In the meantime, that bus.
Possum safe. The bus is still there. They're trying to figure out.
Learn a lesson and spend $1 million. Huh?
Right, right.
All right, David, thank you very much. Well, we had thunder, lightning, and rain here today, but this was a scene today in Chicago. Drone video shows a frozen Chicago River.
Yeah, brutally cold temperatures there continue to grip parts of the Midwest as well for a second straight day. The temperature hit 21 below Chicago's O'Hare International Airport.
And let's turn now to Garth Kemp for our look at our own weather. Garth?
I'm surprised some of that drone didn't freeze up with the actual mean air temperature 21 because a lot of electronics on those things.
Sure.
So, yeah, kind of interesting. For us, you guys, nothing like that, obviously. We had a wild day, though. Nothing unusual, though. We obviously get these thunderstorms as we head towards the winter months, and today proved to be the same way. We picked up anywhere between 1/2 to 1.5 inches. So we were right around where we thought. Most places average just a little over 1 inch of rain throughout the area, and some more. Some just a little bit less. We have such a big topography here. 53 degrees right now. Downtown, so with some clearing skies, temperatures are allowed to ease off a little bit. Upper 40s across most of the valley locations. 55 for our friends down into the OC. Want to talk about high wind watches? These are coming online amidst everything else, including a winter weather advisory tomorrow through Saturday. You can see also high wind watches, which should become high wind warnings. The desert areas, up into the mountain areas, up through the 5 corridor, up towards Santa Barbara County into the north. 60, 70 mile an hour winds, flash flood watches. All the green areas you're seeing, the only ones that shall escape this will be the San Gabriel Valley. But you can see these flash flood watches are already going to be issued tomorrow now, including LA County, out through at least Sunday. There goes the rain that came through today. It was vigorous. I spoke about that yesterday, talked about thunderstorm activity that could be a problem. This is what we're watching, though. The next one's going to be the most powerful one we've seen in a while. This one could drop anywhere between 1 to 3 inches of rain in the lowlands, 4 to 7 inches of rain. Some of the foothills, especially if they face off to the south. By Saturday morning at 5:30, heavy rain starts to move into Ventura County, Malibu. Burn areas are concerned there. We could see rainfall rates of easy an inch an hour. That's the problem. By 10:30, look at the heavy rain. Santa Barbara starting to move into Ventura County, down towards Malibu County, cruising its way through. By Saturday at 1, you can bet there'll be thunderstorms moving through the area. Look at this heavy rain. This denotes rainfall rates at about an inch an hour. And through the rest of the day, it's going to make its way off into the east. By San Bernardino, you can see it down to the south as well. We'll try to get a little break, but the heaviest of the rain comes our way Saturday morning all the way in through Saturday evening. So there you go. Super Bowl Sunday, kind of dicey. We're still looking for rain at around a 60% chance. Could be later in the afternoon as the next and final system starts to work our way on Monday. So that's what we're efforting right now. Big amounts of rainfall coming with this. The snow levels start high. Once the front moves through, it comes down, and that's when we'll see more snow being flying up into the high country. But Saturday, boy, looks tough, and that's going to affect me when I go out to see the Tubes play in concert.
The Tubes.
But I'm going anyway.
Hey.
She's a beauty.
Yep, she's a beauty.
There you go.
All right,
Thank you so much, Garth. And be sure to stay on top of our weather conditions anytime, anywhere with our CBS 2 weather app. It's free to download for both Apple and Android customers.
Remembering a legend, see how the Dodgers helped 250 kids and their parents celebrate what would have been baseball star Jackie Robinson's 100th birthday.
LA Rams Road to Atlanta on CBS 2 is sponsored by HealthNet. CBS 2 Sports Director Jim Hill with exclusive interviews with sports legends past and present. Don't miss a special In the Game with Jim Hill, Sunday at 10 on CBS 2. Sponsored by HealthNet. At HealthNet, we believe every person deserves a safety net for their health.